The Special Investigating Unit is urging President Cyril Ramaphosa to intervene so staff can be paid for the probe into the COVID-19 PPE corruption scandal. Currently, the SIU is engaging with the National Treasury to come to an understanding on how it will be paid for the outstanding amount spent on the investigation. For more detail, we speak to SIU spokesperson Kaizer Kganyago. Very good morning to you, Dr. Kganyago. Thank you for your time. How did you get to this point?
Good morning, Paul, and good morning to your viewers. We have gotten to this point purely because this proclamation that we are talking about is different from other proclamations that we were working on. With other proclamation, you find that it is a proclamation that is directed at one institution, and in that case, the payment arrangements are done directly with that institution. Therefore, in this case, we've got a proclamation that is open-ended, and that proclamation, therefore, requires us to then invoice all the institutions that we are investigating. And we saw that from the beginning of the investigation. And therefore, we then went to Treasury to say, Treasury, can't we have you as a central institution, and then we only invoice Treasury, and then all the other people, the monies they can get from all the other institutions. And that is the discussion that we are having with Treasury, and those discussions are still going on. But in the meantime, we have all invoiced some of these institutions, and we are not getting paid. Out of the amount that we are charging them, we're only up to this point able to get 5.3 million rand, and we are left with over 200 million rand that we need to recover. That is why we then decided we will put this in our report so that we make the president aware of the circumstances that we are finding ourselves in.
You say you foresaw that it would come to this point, and you engaged with Treasury. What sort of responses have you been receiving from Treasury in your engagements?
We are cooperating with them very well because we have to find something that will really work for all the people that are involved, because we don't want to also put the burden and put it in the door of the Treasury alone. But we're engaging with them. We're trying to look at different ways of getting this money. And we're hopeful that we will find something. But we were in a position to say to the president, this is where we find ourselves. Can you also assist where you can assist?
And when it comes to the investigation process, I mean, we have been watching very closely and listening into how much of the monies need to be brought back. How has that process happened? I mean, have monies come into the purse to assist with the current situation?
Yes, well, in terms of the way we do our business, we then go out once we have found that the contracts are irregular. We then take those matters to the special tribunal, and then we set them aside and recover the money. As you might have seen in our report, the money that is in the bank is about 34 million plus, and then there is before the tribunal to the value of over 2.1 billion that we want to recover, and then there is also monies that will be coming in as part of the acknowledgement of debt that some of the companies and people have done, and we will get it through. And then once the money comes, it comes to the SIU, and then we then take it to the institutions concerned.
There is ongoing civil litigation. What does that now mean? How much of an impact does it have on the money that you have, which is running out, and the work that still needs to be investigated?
No, we will continue. We will use the resources that we are having to continue to do, because this work that we're doing for the people of South Africa, and we will use the resources at our disposal. But if we continue in this trajectory where people just decide not to pay, we are going to end up in a situation where our money will be depleted, because we get about 55% of our income from government, and then the other 45 is what we invoice from people.
And what about perhaps as a solution, looking at signing LOEs with state institutions? Would that not have helped in ensuring that you do continue to have funds?
No, we do that. That's the process that we follow. When we do an investigation, we do a letter of engagement, and then that is when they sign that, then as part of it, it is agreement to pay. There are some of I think we've signed about 44 of those, but even though that some of the people haven't paid as yet, but some of the people have paid.
So you've brought this matter to the attention of the President. What reaction are you expecting from him?
No, we just wanted the President to be aware of it, and we also indicated to the President that we are engaging with Treasury, and then at this point we are not saying he must do anything except to be aware, and when there is a need for us to then go to him and then say that, can you please intervene on our behalf, then we will do so.
You say that, as I asked you the question around the impact of the funds running out, that you will continue with investigations and that it will not affect your work. But how so? Because could we not see a situation where perhaps the quality of your investigative work starts to deteriorate because of the lack of funds?
Not at the moment. We are still in a very good financial position at the moment, but we are focusing to the future where we are able to say if the situation continues, because it's not only with the PPEs, it is also with other people who have been owing us. And this matter we have raised even beyond scope before. Therefore, if it continues in this way, at a later stage, it might affect us. But at the moment, we will use the resources that we have in our coffers to make sure that our quality doesn't suffer and to make sure that all the things that we need to do are done.
And what sort of, very lastly, what sort of time frames are you looking at to ensure that you do continue to be sustainable?
No, at the moment, we are comfortable that for the next maybe 2-3 years we will be fine. But that doesn't mean people shouldn't pay. Therefore, at the moment, if people continue to not pay, that's a problem, and therefore we might need to get something else that we can do to make sure that we replenish our coffers.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. Leaving it there with Kaizer Kganyago. They're speaking on behalf of the SIU, saying that should the Special Investigating Unit not be paid or reach its agreement with National Treasury in the next 2 to 3 years, there will be no funds to investigate.